Hi, I'm Manny Evola. I'm the manager up here at the Michigan office. And a couple days ago, I had a CE class. I get a lot of questions about differences between Michigan and Ohio contracts. And so we wanted to put a CE class together that highlighted that. We're going to offer that once, twice, 3 times a year, kind of as need dictates. But in the meantime, I know a lot of you getting your license may not want to wait for the class. We thought we'd put this short video together. We're only going to touch the high points. We're going to do it quickly. If you have any questions after watching this, feel free to call me. My cell will be on the video, and you can call me, email me, whatever's easier for you. So the very first difference is the blue form in Ohio that addresses agency is known in Michigan as the exclusive buyer agency contract. It's form 304A. This form is a must-have when you're working with a buyer. The best time to get this signed is the very first time you meet with a buyer. It's going to let them know that you're serving them as a buyer's agent. It is a state-required document, so you want to make sure that we have this on file and that you have it for your file as well. Again, it's form 304A that can be found on .loop or the forms on my Danberry. The next point that I want to address, tax prorations, that always comes up. Big difference between Michigan and Ohio. There is no 100%. This is just an overview. Typically, if you're in Monroe County, you're going to be doing taxes in arrears on a calendar year. Calendar year would go from January 1st to December 31st. Just so you know, the assessed dates overall in Monroe County, typically they're December 1st and July 1st. They are assessed twice. You're going to want to watch out for a homestead exemption. In Michigan, you're allowed a one-time homestead exemption for your principal property. In Ohio, it is related to your age and your income. So 65 and over, income threshold, you get a homestead. In Michigan, it's not that way, just for your principal property. A red flag there is your summer and winter taxes should be fairly close together. They won't be exact, but those two amounts should be close together. If they're not, that's a red flag that you may have a non-homesteaded property. The other thing you want to look out there for is an assessment. It can be a water assessment, road assessment. Those are usually the two big ones. Sometimes you'll see a drain assessment. If you want information on the taxes, property info, in Ohio, Lucas County, you have ARIES. In Michigan, it's BS&A. And you're going to want to go to https://bsaonline.com/home/welcome page. We'll have this graphic up for you on the screen, but you're going to want to go there, set up an account. It's not free. Most townships charge $2 per property poll, but it's vital information. It's something you're going to want to have. So set up the account, and we'll go from there. Let's see, on our purchase agreements, the Michigan purchase agreements, just some things I want to point out. These are questions I'm frequently asked. The bottom of page 1 on the purchase agreement, title insurance, they ask you, there's 2 blanks there for how many days to apply for title commitment and then how many days you can address any issues on the title. There's no right or wrong. I put 5 and 5. I've seen 7 and 10. I've seen 10 and 10. It's not real critical. Just know what you put down, and I guess, make sure you abide by that on the contract. Line 9, that deals with the tax proration. And again, typically, you're going to do arrears calendar in Monroe County. If you get into Lenawee County, that goes to advance. Your best bet, if you have any questions, because it's not uniform all over, call that township tax authority. Usually you're going to want to talk to the treasurer. So call the township hall and talk to the tax authority there if you need to confirm. Special assessments, 2 ways to handle this. This is line 10 on the purchase agreement. You can either allocate that assessment, basically prorate it the same as you do the taxes, or you can ask the seller to pay it in full. Now, as a buyer's agent, to do the best job and get the best buy for them, you're going to want the seller to pay that in full. One thing to consider, though, if that's an excessive amount, there's some areas up here that have assessments that are $15,000 to $20,000. that can be prohibitive for a seller. It's negotiable, and sometimes it makes sense to allocate that the same way you do the taxes. Just your best bet, know the assessment, know the situation, and remember it can always be negotiated. Let's see. Line 19, Land Division Act. There's a blank there that asks you how many splits you want to make. You're either going to put in all or zero. All or zero. All right. Line 21, flood certification. Typically, I put 5 days. Again, that's not a concrete answer. That's just what I do. Line 31, there's a check mark there. It is or is not an in-house transaction. All that means is if you're doing a deal with another Danberry agent, that's an in-house transaction. If it's not a Danberry agent, it's not in-house. That pretty well sums up the purchase agreement. On the agency disclosure, page 2, remember you're always going to check that you're a designated agent. Always. Whether you're a buyer, seller, dual, you are a designated agent in the state of Michigan. So make sure you check that. So really, those are probably the main questions that I have to address on our purchase agreements. If you have any questions at any time, always feel free to call me or text me on my cell, send me an email, whatever's best for you.